It's been a full year of meaninglessness. It's been a full year of ineptitude. It's been a full year of them avoiding processes and courts pulling them back. And when courts, including judges that are appointed by Donald Trump himself during his first term, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, pull them back because there's no law or facts to base whatever they're trying to do, and they avoid process. They don't follow proper procedure, and they take away grants, and they punish people. And when the people sue and win, they get mad at the judges. Don't get mad at judges. Get mad at yourself because you're inept and you insist on being lawless. Anyway, and so he has a DI cabinet. In the beginning of the term, before actually the DI he came into office, I did a series of videos. You can check it on my YouTube channel if you want. Dedicated to identifying why the people that Donald Trump has selected to be his cabinet will be a disaster because they're just not qualified. This is not going to work out, and it was. I'm not the only one who said that. It was predictable. A blind man, Stevie Wonder could see that coming. It's not a big deal. It's just that it's a year into seeing every single thing that we said was going to happen when you put people unqualified in power is actually happening. And this is why the Project 2025 blueprint is stupid and essentially saying we're going to replace career folks with sycophants. If you don't know this, Donald Trump's Department of Justice purposely put sycophants who are loyal to Donald Trump, who have no experience to represent, to be assistant attorneys in blue cities. I saw a report that said that. You can look that up if you want to. And they put the more qualified people in red cities. And that just says how they're inept and stupid. Because they were thinking, like, we're going to put the best people in red states because we love red states. And so we think they should get the most skilled, qualified folks. And they're going to put the inept people, the folks who don't know what they're doing, in the blue cities. But the thing about it is, which is stupid, because you're spending most of your time trying to punish people in blue cities. You can't get indictments. And when you do try to get indictments, they're blundered the way Lindsey Halligan blundered the indictment. And it's a freaking hot mess. And it's a hot mess because you have people who don't know what the hell they're doing. So why would you put all your energy in destroying the blue cities and try to destroy the blue cities with unqualified people who are going to go to judges with a bunch of bullshit and try to get indictments and not going to work? And they're going to fail. And that's why they've been failing. Because there was not a smart plan. And the whole Project 2025, and you see what happens when you try to replace qualified people with sycophants, because the sycophants don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're making a mess of things. And they've been making a mess of things, and they're going to continue to make a mess of things because you can't replace skill and experience. And there's a reason why in 240 years of history, we've had people who go from administrative administration doing their job. You've depleted the institutional memory, you depleted all of the knowledge base, you depleted essentially standards and procedures and able to make things work smooth. People didn't really appreciate the extent to which the government assisted them. Because I don't think the Project 2025 people, the tech pros, the Curtis Yarvins, Mayo Jovankovich, I don't even pronounce his name, all those folks really understood the extent to which government really helps functions. And now as they, after the Doge effects, they're realizing now that things are falling apart. It's kind of like, what would you expect when you see the FBI is not functioning? Because when it came in, Donald Trump was like, all I have for y'all is cruelty and immigration. That's it. So Department of Justice got all of the attorneys that used to do white collar crime, used to do child trafficking, used to cover civil rights enforcement. Every single thing, the Department of Justice, they took all those people and moved them into immigration because that's all Donald Trump has. His policy is one policy: immigration cruelty. That's it. That's it. That's all he has. So if FBI pulled all those field officers off of the variety of different things they handle for FBI and put them in immigration. So when you have an actual matter, an actual shooting, actual something that's not immigration, you have nobody in your office who's qualified or left to handle it. And that's why Kash Patel has been failing all this time. It's like the Project 25, y'all were stupid. I don't think y'all thought this through. I mean, and also, I don't think they anticipated people would push back. Like, why would you think people want to be Christian fascists? Did you watch or read Handmaid's Tale and see the movie or the TV show and say, okay, we think we can do that, and there'll be little resistance? That's, even if you have sycophants, it's not enough. There's still more of us than them. We're going to push back. Fortunately, we still live in a country. We're still a nation of laws. We still have First Amendment. I'm still here. Most of us still here. We're educating. We're empowering. The federal district court judges are holding the line. The state's attorney generals are holding the line. The states are doing what they can and will do. They will continue to do it. And we're going to keep holding the line and making sure that the you guys don't win. And the other thing too, you need to realize is this is a short period of time. Y'all had a short window, and your window was closing tight because you already know. That's why you guys keep trying to gerrymander, avoid. But even the gerrymander impact in Texas, it relied 40% of the people in your Texas electorate is Latinos that used to vote Republican. A lot of them are turning away. That's one of the groups that are turning away because even though they at one point thought they were safe, because they thought they could be, white adjacent, they could aspire to, the whites in Texas and say we're aligned in terms of religious wise, we're aligned in terms of some of our values are aligned, and that's enough. But when it comes down to it, when you're dealing with the extinction of such a situation, when you put someone in power, Donald Trump, and their job is to maintain, uphold white supremacy and hold on as long as we can, they're voting against your interests because they're voting against the stats that says by 2037, the nation will no longer be majority white and it's going to be majority Hispanic. So they're actually actively doing this stuff against you, and that's why you're being attacked. So to the extent that they hope that the 2024 numbers match for 2026, that's not going to happen. So all the gerrymandering impacts, you see that you're losing in all the different states. We saw what happened in Florida. Florida's a bellwether sign was going to happen in Texas. The folks that were reliably Republicans that are flipping, that's what's going to happen in Texas. So you're going to lose. When you lose and you have Operation 2/3, my one woman campaign, if it was possible to get a 2/3 majority, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can do immigration reform. You can do gun control. And the people who are going to be in power, I've said this before, are going to be the Gavin Newsom-esque. It's going to be Letitia Game-esque. It's going to be, Jasmine Coffin is running for a Senate. But it's going to be, she's going to be in the Senate. It's going to be folks who are in power who are strong. It's going to be Representative Garcia. It's going to be Senator Chris. Why am I forgetting Chris Evans? Not Chris Evans. I forget Chris's last name. It's going to be folks who you've seen, the folks who've been out front, who've been aggressive, who've not been just writing strongly worded letters, who've been pushing back fire and fire with fire. When people are pissed off and people want accountability. So there's going to be accountability. So it's not going to be the Merrick Garland slow walking you had in between the two terms. There's not going to be it's going to be that. There's not going to be that. So for the extent that you did all of that aggressively, you're overly aggressive, thinking that you're going to just reclaim, that you're going to do all this stuff. You didn't anticipate there'll be pushback, the boomerang effect. There are people like, no, we like our government the way it is. I don't think they anticipated this well, because at the end of the day is that your term to do all you're going to do is 4 years. So you couldn't anticipate that you're going to do all these things. And what would you think? At some point, we're going to say, okay, there'll be capitulation. Everyone's going to be like, we're not going to fight. We're going to just give in. Is that what you thought? That no one's going to fight it? Again, I always say this, MAGA is 22% of the population, 32% of the electorate, and dwindling because Donald Trump has been eroding his base. And we're being ruled, I always say this, about the tyranny of the minority. 165 million people didn't vote for Donald Trump. 75 voted for Kamala, 77 for Donald Trump. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but that left 90 million who didn't vote at all. That's 165 million people in terms of the voting electorate. In addition, you have people who can't vote who don't like them. And then you have a government that's full of close to 4 million people who don't like what you're doing. So they're whistleblowers. They're collecting accountability. They're collecting receipts. So how did you not think that when you have a government full of people who don't like what you're doing, and you have a country full of people who don't like you doing, that you whatever you're trying to do is going to be sustainable? What you're trying to do relies on people who are not qualified and can't work within the law because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And so it's built in a house of cards. So it was never going to be sustainable. It was never going to last. It was always going to it was going to be painful because we see the pain, we see the hurt, we see the brutality, we see people, the harm it's caused. I'm sure people are not alive here today. Some folks who were relying on the USAID relief, we're sure the impact of that is affected. The way that Donald Trump's policy caused some people not to be here because he's blundered the COVID response. So we see the ineptitudes. I had a couple of other videos that I was going to do. I'm not going to do for this. I'm going to just stick this just a rant, not a rant, just a chat, just talking. My podcast, my kitchen podcast is just me discussing topics on top of my mind. This is my second episode of my kitchen podcast. This is an evening edition because the first one I did in the morning. If you like this, I'd like you to share this video with other people. I'm going to try, I keep saying I am, but I am. That's the plan, to go live every single day, just to talk about this. Every single news, there's topics to talk about every single day. And if you want to support me, you can get my Big Fan of Human Rights shirts or any of my merch at jjlegal.com. You can get a free Trump kit with scripts, with Know Your Rights cards, and with access to the courts. So you too can be in the dockets. JJ Legal. Each one teach one.